Hello everybody, welcome back to the show, and in today's episode I would like to go to the Nether. Now I have multiple reasons for wanting to go to the Nether. Originally I wanted to go because my friend Unplugged told me that the PFAA mod will generate ore veins in the Nether. And since the Nether is basically one large cave that and cave mining is generally more efficient than, say, strip mining, I thought that going looking for ores in the Nether would be a great idea. So it seems like a good idea. In addition, though, I also need to find some sulfur. Sulfur is going to be a necessary item, and I may need a lot of it, although I'm not quite sure. Now, one issue with the PFAA mod that I have is that it's really hard for me to find any really good documentation on ore spawning and mineral spawning, so I'm not sure if PFAA spawns any type of sulfur in the overworld. One thing that I did find out that's kind of neat under achievements in the GregTech section, all of these are the achievements for the different ores that GregTech generates. Now remember that with the PFAA mod is generating the ores and not the GregTech. But if you hover over one of these, it actually shows you the height and the chance and what area it's in. So you can see copper ore, heights from 80 to 120, chance 70, whatever that means. I'm sure it's a weighted scale of some kind. And then it can be found in the overworld or in the Nether. I thought that was really cool. So if you are using GregTech for your ore generation, this is a good way to find where the various ores are going to spawn, what locations they will spawn, and how to find them, and things like that. So somewhere in here there is a sulfur ore, and the biggest problem I have with this listing of things here is that it doesn't appear to be in any type of alphabetical order. Maybe it's in order of rare. It doesn't seem to be in order of rarity, so I'm not entirely certain what sort of order this is in, other than probably just the order in which ores were added to the game, which would be my guess. But one of these is sulfur ore, and I'm going to find it here. There it is, sulfur ore, and you can see there heights from 5 to 20, chance 100, and in the Nether. Now, I think I had read somewhere that with the PFAA mod, GregTech allows it to do its ore generation in the overworld, but that GregTech does its normal ore generation in the end and in the Nether. So if that's the case, then I should be able to find that sulfur ore in the Nether. But again, my friend Unplugged says that the PFAA mod generates ore veins in the Nether, so I'm not entirely certain. Anyhow, getting started with this, the first step obviously is to build a portal to the Nether, and this actually turns out to be a lot easier than I would have expected it to be. The first step, of course, is to get obsidian in order to build a portal, and that's easy to obtain with a diamond pickaxe, and the recipe for the diamond pickaxe is vanilla. 3 diamonds and 2 sticks. This totally blew me away. For whatever reason, I would have figured that GregTech would have made this an incredibly much more difficult recipe. In fact, over here in the assembler, there is such a thing as a diamond pickaxe head, which apparently can make a file with 3 diamonds. That is super easy as well. So totally surprised me that I can make a diamond pickaxe this easily. But let me finish getting up the rest of this obsidian. Now, the next thing that I'm going to need is a flint and steel. And here the recipe is changed by GregTech. You can see it still requires a piece of flint, and it also requires 1 steel nugget. So you do have to have steel in order to make this, but fortunately we only need 1 steel nugget. Now we've got steel ingots which are being made in the blast furnace, and of course to get nuggets out of an ingot we do have to smelt it. Wow, that's loud. It is really super loud. I know somebody mentioned that I can just turn my game volumes down, but I don't want to turn them too far down because that's how creepers get me. Yeah, like that. Alright, and do I have any flint? I do, and so I should be able to make flint and steel. Ta-da! Okay, here goes. Here goes. Ah, there we go. I don't know why I didn't catch the first couple of times. But, portal is lit. Let's go through and see what we see. Oh man, I spawned on a fortress. Ah, that is not good. Oh, that is so not good. Oh my goodness. Okay, I am going to build myself a little shelter. I'll be back when this is done. Alright, normally I put down a chest, and inside the chest I will put a flint and steel, and that is because if for some reason this portal goes out, which is possible if it gets hit by a blast from a ghast, then, speaking of ghasts, where are you? Somewhere. Oh, there you are. Okay, if it gets hit by a blast from a ghast, it can put the portal out. So having a flint and steel on this side helps me if I need a situation where I need to relight my portal. Now, I was going to say that going mining in the Nether doesn't seem like such a bad idea, because the Nether is not really all that dangerous. There are essentially ghasts, which are, you know, fairly easy to avoid and dodge, and they're actually not even that hard to kill. Then there are the blazes and the wither skeletons, but you only encounter them on Nether fortresses. I hadn't counted on the fact that I would actually spawn on a Nether fortress. So yeah, that was not expected at all. And it's not good because I want to do mining. I gotta mine in the netherrack, and the netherrack is way over there. So I gotta see if I can find a way to get to some netherrack. I can see some stuff in the netherracks, but I can't tell if that is nether quartz or something else. And I got more ghasts. So I'm gonna do my best to try to make my way to some netherrack, see what happens. I'll record if anything interesting happens. Otherwise, I'll come back when I found something. Well, looks like I found the first ore vein. Well, actually not the first. I did see a nether quartz ore vein. A GregTech nether quartz ore vein. This appears to be the first magnetite. Magnetite ore vein. So this is good. Magnetite is a form of iron, and so this will be a good way to get a bunch of iron. In fact, there's some iron ore in there as well. I'm going to go ahead and put in a bookmark so I can find it later if I decide. I did some branch mining down at level 15 or so. Some bismuth ore, in order to see if I could find... What is this? Looks like a texture problem. That is actually an ore of some kind. What is that? Let's get rid of this. Tin dust. Okay. Looks like I'm having a little bit of a texture issue there. Anyway, as I was saying, I did some mining down at level 15 or so, looking for some sulfur ore, or I should say a sulfur ore vein, and I didn't find a sulfur ore vein. I have found lots and lots of small sulfur ores, and so I've gotten some sulfur dust. Maybe enough to go to the next stage of what I want to do, but I don't know if I'm seeing PFAA generated mod ores. This is the GregTech magnetite, so I'm not sure about that, and I may have misunderstood. Oh, what's that green stuff right there? I may have misunderstood what Ungod was telling me as far as the PFAA mod and generating ores. I have a tendency to do that. I sometimes will read a comment and I will not be paying the best attention to it. I should really pay better attention. But let me run up here. I just want to see what this is. Oh, it's an emerald ore. Okay. I'm not going to mine it right now because my inventory is full. As you can see, I've been finding all kinds of neat stuff. I got couple of gold horse armors, one diamond horse armor. Pretty cool. But this is kind of what I meant about cave mining. Obviously, this was, really noticeable and easy to find. And that's what would make mining here better. Some small copper. There's lots of different small ores all over the place, which is good. I'll have to do a much more exploration, I think, because I'm sure there's going to be more ore veins that I can find. In fact, there's another ore vein right here. So what is this? Bauxite. Bauxite and probably aluminium. Or ilmenite? Is that what spawns with bauxite? Something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, so obviously there are going to be some good ore veins here. I have to get away from the Nether fortress, though, to find them. Spawning on that Nether fortress really took me by surprise. It doesn't... I guess I should have known, but I don't think I've ever spawned a Nether portal on a Nether fortress before. And I think part of me was thinking that that wouldn't actually happen. So... Nice! Yes. Gas tier? Gas tier? Please gas tier? Oh, I don't think there's a gas tier. Bummer. Gunpowder. have to be a bit careful here, because if you knock a ghast's fireball and it hits pigmen, it will anger the pigmen and they will come after you. If a ghast fires a ghast fireball and it hits the pigmen, it will not anger them. But if you knock it back and then it hits pigmen, it will anger them. So kind of a strange thing that you have to watch out for. And I'm kind of bummed out I didn't get a ghast tear out of that, but I'm happy that I got that achievement. That's always a fun one to get, knocking back the fireball into a ghast. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I got a good haul in treasure, not so much in the ores. It's kind of funny when you get to a point in Minecraft where you would rather find ore veins than diamond horse armor, right? But yeah, made it to the Nether, which is good. There are ore veins here. I've seen those. They do look like the GregTech ore veins. I could be wrong about that, but it's just the way that they look to me. So, Ungod, let me know if I was mistaken, if I misunderstood. I'm not seeing the PFAA mod ores here. But the next thing I need to do is I still need to look for sulfur, and I am going to do that. I do have some small pieces of sulfur. As you can see, there's 2 there and 5 there. Maybe enough to get me going with the next stage of things I need to do, but I do want to find a sulfur ore vein because I know I'm going to need a lot of that. So I'll spend some time looking for that. A few minutes later, I actually found a sulfur ore vein. Check it out. Cool, I have the sulfur I need. Spend some time digging up some ores, so I'll have lots to do in the next episode. As always, if you have any questions, comments, hints, tips, tricks, if you want to say hi, leave me a comment in the comment section down below. I really enjoy those. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.